Hey everyone, it's Anthony Ramos, and finally this holiday season we are getting some LGBTQ holiday films, including The Christmas House, which is on Hallmark, starring our good friend Jonathan Bennett. And guess what, everyone? He just got engaged. Congratulations.
What? What? Did I get engaged? Oh, look at the bling, look at the bling, look at the bling.
Well, first off, I could not be more happy for you and Jaymes. So congratulations. I mean, I've seen all these videos and photos on Instagram. Tell me about the moment because there was a lot of emotion, a lot of screaming, a lot of crying. It was all there.
Okay, Anthony, I'm not good at expressing myself properly, right? My therapist told me this. I understand it. It's something I've accepted. And when I walked out of the house, Jaymes was standing there with my family in the backyard holding a sign that said, "We never did find our song." And then he flipped it over and it said, "So I wrote one for you," because we could never find our song. And so he wrote me a country ballad that is off the charts, beautiful and gorgeous. He had recorded it and it was playing in the yard when I walked out. So immediately I began to ugly cry, uglier than I've ever cried in my life. And I literally just walked up to him and held him because I couldn't move. I was paralyzed. Like, you hear people talk about that, like I was paralyzed with shock or I was paralyzed with emotion. And you're always like, yeah, you're not really paralyzed. Oh no, it's a real thing. And I literally just got held him and cried. And it was the best moment of my whole life. It was just so gorgeous. And the song's amazing. You can hear it on Spotify and Apple Tunes. It's called Our Song by Jaymes Vaughan. It's so good.
Is there anything Jaymes can't do? Singing?
No.
I mean, hosting, now going to be a husband. I mean, it's
annoying. Like, he's put the bar pretty high. Like, and the big debate is about our wedding because I always joke around. Well, it's not really a joke. He always says, "What do you want your wedding to be like?" He goes, "I want something classy, like in the forest, real elegant." And I say, "I want something between where Elphaba flies during Defying Gravity and the finale of The Greatest Showman. Like, somewhere in between that is good for me." And he's like, "Yeah, so basically a child's birthday party."
Very understated.
Sure, fine.
Yeah, very understated.
If I don't fly in or come up from the ground on a hydraulic lift when I enter the wedding, I'm going to be disappointed.
It's so funny because watching that video, when you started crying, I was like, oh, he realized that he was getting proposed to, but then I realized that wasn't the case. You were just so excited by the song, and then the proposal happened.
Well, no, I knew I was getting proposed to as soon as I saw the sign because the sign, the first time he told me he loved me, he held a white sign like that and rang the doorbell like in Love Actually, and I opened the door and he was holding a sign that said, "I love you," because we were afraid to say it the first time. And he just did that for Christmas the first time we met, or not the first time we met, our first Christmas together. And then when I walked in the yard and saw him holding the white sign, I knew, I was like, oh, it's a callback. This is what's happening.
Now this is it. How long have you been together? It's been a while. I mean,
like a million years at this point, I think. Yeah. But it feels like 2 days, but it also feels like a million years. We've been together like 4 years.
I love that. Well, please tell Jaymes congratulations as
I will.
But exciting with The Christmas House, which, reminder everyone, it's on Hallmark. It's already premiered, but the good thing about Hallmark is that they rerun everything. And I know it's going to be on, and it's going to be on December 14th. So check your local listings and set those DVRs. But
and I think it's on Christmas Eve too.
Great. Well, that's even better.
Yeah, it's on a lot.
There'll be more too. More times between then. But, I think for you, what does it mean? Because it's so great that Hallmark is being inclusive and, realizing that LGBTQ people want Christmas love and Christmas miracles too, right?
Right.
What does it mean for you to be, part of this new wave of
it's amazing. It feels like I'm part of progress. It feels so good. And, I say that I just think back to when I was younger and was watching Christmas movies with my family. There was no one on screen that looked like me or had the relationship that I wanted to have or represented what a family looked like to me. So to have, I can just imagine what younger me would think watching this movie, right? And that's all I was thinking about when I was filming it. It feels like progress. And I think Hallmark, everyone at Hallmark, from Michelle Vickery and the execs and Kate Redinger, who is the producer on it, and Robert Buckley, whose family story it is, and Aaron Rodman, who wrote it, they all did such a great job taking the story and taking such good care with the story to make sure it was done right. And what I love about this is that the gay couple in the movie is the relationship goals, right?
Yeah,
I thought that was
absolutely.
such a brilliant, I thought so brilliantly done. You know, the parents are going through a bit of a rocky time in their marriage, as people do. And, you know, my brother, Robert Buckley, who's the lead of the movie, he's straight and he's trying to find love. So it literally, I think, did a great job of depicting what a family in 2020 looks like that comes home for the holidays, right? And I think it's so important because not just for LGBTQ plus people, but for everyone to watch a movie where they see themselves in it. Like, people have been married for years and they have trouble sometimes, but they get through it. And to be able to watch a movie that represents how a real family looks like in 2020, I think was done so well by Hallmark and so needed and so necessary. It was just spot on.
It was so great. And, you know, thinking about the not only will people see, you know, an LGBTQ couple at the center, like you said, you know, they are the love story. We also see, and not giving away too much, but there's, you know, potentially your character and your husband in the film will become parents too.
Right. We have an adoption storyline with me and my husband, Brad Harder, in the movie. And as our couple goes through what a couple that's going to adopt goes through, you see the highs and the lows and the crunchy times and times when tempers might get a little flared, because that's what happens when people are, you know, a couple is trying to adopt a baby and expand their family. That happens. And so you see that. But what I think the movie does so brilliantly in the writing and the producing of this film is, at the end of the day, everyone in the family, no matter if it's me and my husband or the parents, we always come back to unconditional love. If there's tempers, if there's flare-ups of, you know, people disagreeing, it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, it's what family's all about, and that's unconditional love. And it also shows that your family is your chosen family, right? It can be whoever you want it to be. And I think they did a really good job of that.
So, you know, of course, my next question, you know, you played a couple that was adopting in this. I mean, what about in real life? You know, I mean,
I mean, here's the deal. It's not off the table. It's not on the table. It's in the middle. I think we both want kids, and I think we're figuring out the best thing for us, and especially in 2020, like, how does that look? What's the best thing to do in this situation? And I think, you know, the pandemic has definitely thrown a wrench in everyone's normal plans, right? So I don't think we can make regular plans. The plans we had 2 years ago are out the window because of coronavirus. So we have to, everyone, just like so many people out there, we have to come up with new plans, new ways of thinking, new ways of attacking life, you know? And I think the best thing, you know, that you can do is, if you're lucky enough and blessed enough to find a partner like I did, like Jaymes, we're two kings, one kingdom, right? I don't have my own life. He doesn't have his own life. We're together in one life and one kingdom, because a kingdom's stronger when it has two kings, you know, like, you know, or two queens, or two, you know, it's like, you don't have to have separate kingdoms. It can be one kingdom. And I think that's something we've always worked at. And so no matter what happens with us, we'll just be each other's teammate and figure out what we're going to do for our family and how this works.
You're like, let me get engaged, let me get married first, and then we can talk about
Yeah. I mean, I don't even know when we're going to have our wedding, because we don't really want to do it, you know, while everyone would still have to wear masks and it would look like Mortal Kombat, even though it's great because it's safe. We want that. We can pause a little and see what happens with the vaccine, and see if maybe down the road in a year or so we could have a wedding without everyone having to wear a mask. And if we have to do that, that's okay. You know, we can wait. So
it just gives you like an extra year or so to plan your animatronics for your flying in, you know, basically.
Exactly. Well, it gives me another full year for choreography. So we're ready.
What are, you know, so, you know, holidays are tough. They're tough in a normal year for LGBTQ people. At times they're tough, obviously, during a pandemic. You know, there's some people that are probably with family members that are less supportive. You know, when you talked about chosen family, a lot of us aren't going to be able to be with our chosen family due to the pandemic. So what advice do you have for, you know, some of our LGBTQ friends and family that, you know, may be struggling during holidays?
I've been there. I have been there, and I understand, and I feel it, and I know what you're going through. Doing this movie, I got a lot of support, more support than we've ever had for anything. But we also got a lot of people coming after us, right? Because, you know, trying to shove their hate on something that is beautiful, like family and unconditional love. And to all the people out there that have family members that might not be supportive, remember, it's like, you know, Roosevelt said, it's not the critic who counts. It's not the people that are judging you or not supporting you that count. It's the people around you that lift you up and build you up and make you feel like a person and make you feel loved. Those are the people that count. And you got to remember that. Like, I'm sorry, but I just don't have time anymore for critics. I don't. It's 2020 and the world is so beautiful in so many ways. And there's so many things we have to do in this world. And we just don't have time for hate anymore. I'm sorry. Your time's over.
Don't have
family members that don't want to support, your time is over.
I love that. Okay, last question before I let you go. What are you and Jaymes gonna do? I mean, your first holiday season as an engaged couple.
We're gonna spend it in Palm Springs. We bought our first house together. We're gonna be in Palm Springs with the palm trees wrapped in Christmas lights, and then we're gonna cook some of my mom's favorite recipes from my book, The Burn Cookbook. And we're going to cook those, and then the next day we have to leave because I have to go to New York and host New Year's Eve. So we'll be on a flight the next day.
That's exciting. New Year's Eve and in New York. Well, Jonathan, congratulations again on everything. Please send my best to Jaymes. And thank you so much for being a part of making this Hallmark film called The Christmas House, everyone, which is going to be rerunning on December 14th and again on Christmas Eve. Just go to Hallmark's website, find it, The Christmas House. It's great. But take care, stay safe, and I hope to see you both in person soon. I may just jump in the car and drive to Palm Springs, though.
Hey, I mean, wear a mask and stay 6 feet, but we have a big backyard. Come on, Absolutely. Let's go.
All right, I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.